It's spooky season. Time for some spooky content. I mean, I don't know. This is kind of new to me. I've never really like done anything like this before. Also, I just showered, so my hair is air drying. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, it's a frizzy mess. We're going to be discussing Annabelle. This is Annabelle. For those of you who don't really know the story behind Annabelle, well, that's what we're going to be talking about today. This is from the actual like Warrens website. For those of you who don't know who the Warrens are, they were like the demonologists in the movie that dealt with this case like in a real life scenario. So yeah, it's pretty legit. I haven't looked this up before, so this is new. This is new to me. I personally like scary, spooky type stuff. I don't know, I find it interesting, so here we go. Spooky time. In 1970, a mother purchased an antique Raggedy Ann doll from a hobby store. We're gonna stop there real quick. In the movie, I think, from what I remember in the movie, the Annabelle doll is like a porcelain doll. But no, the real life version of Annabelle is a Raggedy Ann doll, which almost makes it like 10 times scarier in my opinion. The doll had been a birthday present for her daughter Donna. Donna was preparing to graduate from college with a nursing degree. She lived in a tiny apartment with her roommate Angie. Donna placed this doll on her bed as a decoration and didn't give it a second thought. However, within days, both Donna and Angie noticed that there appeared to be something very strange and creepy about the doll. The doll mysteriously seemed to move about the house. Relatively small movements at first, such as a change in position, but as time passed, the movement became more noticeable. I don't know about you, but if I had like a toy that was moving, okay, changing positions, moving in any way, it would be gone within like an hour of me noticing. Donna and Angie would come home to find the doll in a completely different room. Sometimes the doll would be found with legs crossed, arms folded. Other times it would be found upright, standing on its feet. Oh heck no. No. Several times Donna sometimes left the doll on the couch before leaving for work and would return to find the doll back in her room on the bed with the door closed. No thank you. Holy cow. My brother just dropped his water bottle outside my door and it scared the crap out of me, but that's fine. Annabelle, the doll, not only moved but could write as well. Okay. About a month into their experiences, Donna and Angie began to find messages on parchment paper that read, "Help us" and "Help Lou." The handwriting as if written by a small child. The creepy part about the messages was not the wording, but the way they were written. At the time, Donna had never kept parchment paper on which the notes were written in the house, so where did it come from? I don't freaking know. The fact that you didn't even keep that kind of paper in your house, and there were like notes written on it, like, "Help me, help Lou." No. Plus the doll was moving. Like, you already knew the doll moved around at that point. Get rid of it. One night, Donna came home to find the doll had moved again. Why is it still in your house? This time it was on her bed. Again. Donna had come to find that this was typical of the doll, but somehow she knew this time it was different. Something wasn't right. A sense of fear came over her when she inspected the doll and saw what looked like blood drops on the back of its hands and its chest. Seemingly from nowhere, a liquidy red substance had appeared on the doll. Scared and desperate, Donna and Angie decided it was time to seek expert advice. Now you decide once you see actual blood on the doll. Now you decide. No, the writing on the parchment wasn't enough. The moving around your house was not enough. You didn't feel threatened until you saw blood. Okay. Not knowing where to turn, they contacted a medium, and a seance was held. No. Donna was then introduced to the spirit of Annabelle Higgins. Okay? The medium related the story of Annabelle to both Donna and Angie. Annabelle was a young girl that resided on the property before the apartments were built. They were happy times. It puts that in quotations. She was a young girl of only 7 years old when her lifeless body was found in the field upon which the apartment complex now stands. Okay. The spirit related to the medium that she felt comfort with Donna and Angie and wanted to stay with them and be loved. That is really sad, actually. Feeling compassion for Annabelle. Okay. It's sad, but not sad enough to keep a haunted doll in your house, okay? No. Feeling compassion for Annabelle and her story, Donna gave her permission to inhabit the doll and stay with them. Donna had problems, okay? They were to soon find out, however, that Annabelle was not what she appeared to be. This was no ordinary case and was definitely no ordinary doll. What would an ordinary case be considered? Where you're like, oh, this wasn't an ordinary case. Well, okay, yeah, the doll's moving. There's blood on the doll. It's writing you notes. Of course, it's not ordinary. It's not ordinary. What is ordinary? Lou was friends with Donna and Angie and had been with them since the day the doll arrived, okay? Lou had never been fond of the doll and on several occasions warned Donna that it was evil and to get rid of it. Thank you, Lou. Someone with common sense. Donna had a compassionate side to the doll and not giving much credence to Lou's feelings, kept it. Donna's decision, it turns out, was a terrible mistake. No crap. Lou woke up one night from a deep sleep and in panic. Once again, he had had a reoccurring bad dream, only this time somehow something seemed different. It was as though he was awake but couldn't move. He looked around the room but couldn't discern anything out of the ordinary, and then it happened. Looking down towards his feet, he saw the doll, Annabelle. Excuse me? It began to slowly glide up his leg, moved over his chest, and then stopped. Within seconds, the doll was strangling him, paralyzed and gasping for breath. Lou, at the point of asphyxiation, blacked out. Okay, this sounds kind of like a, what is it? Not a night terror. I think that might actually be what they're called, but like sleep paralysis. Lou awoke the next morning, certain it wasn't a dream. Lou was determined to rid himself of that doll and the spirit that possessed it. Lou, however, would have one more terrifying experience with Annabelle. Poor Lou. He's being targeted. Austin! Can you come here real quick? Oh my gosh. Guys, I kid you not. I was just telling this story and that bag fell off. So, that's great. No, it doesn't fall. It's fine. We're fine. It's all good. We're good. We're fine. No, seriously. Like, it was weird, but anyway.
Well, it's probably because you opened the door beforehand.
Okay. Guys, that bag has been sitting there for months. Like, literally, like 3 months. I'm a messy person. I'm sorry. But that bag literally fell off of the other bag that it's been sitting on for 3 freaking months. Where was I? Okay, yeah, so preparing for a my gosh, I'm like so distracted now. I'm sorry. I'm preparing for a road trip the next day. Lou and Angie were reading over maps alone in her apartment. The apartment seemed eerily quiet. I keep glancing over there. Suddenly, rustling sounds coming from Donna's room aroused fear that someone had possibly broken into the apartment. Lou, determined to figure out who or what it was, quietly made his way to the bedroom door. He waited for the noises to stop before entering and turning on the light. The room was empty except for Annabelle, whom he tossed on the floor in the corner. Okay, that seems like rude. Anyway, Lou scoured the room for a forced entry, but nothing was out of place. But as he got close to the doll, he got the distinct impression that somebody was behind him. Spinning around, he was quick to realize that nobody else was there. Then, in a flash, he found himself grabbing for his chest, doubled over, cut and bleeding. Oh my gosh. His shirt was stained with blood, and upon opening his shirt, there on his chest was what looked like 7 distinct claw marks, 3 vertically and 4 horizontally, and they were hot like burns. These scratches healed almost immediately. Wait, what? Half gone the next day, fully gone by day 2. That is weird. That's really weird. Oh my gosh, that like freaked me out. I thought it was a picture, but it was like a mini video that they have playing on their website. Hi guys. Donna finally was willing to believe the spirit in the house was not that of a young girl, but inhuman and demonic in nature. After Lou's experiences, Donna felt like it was time to seek real expert advice and contacted an Episcopal priest named Father Hegan. Father Hegan felt it was a spiritual matter and felt he needed to contact a higher authority in the church, so he contacted Father Cook, who immediately contacted the Warrens. Whoa. Ed and Lorraine Warren immediately took interest in the case and contacted Donna concerning the doll. The Warrens, after speaking with Donna, Angie, and Lou, came to the immediate conclusion that the doll itself was not in fact possessed, but manipulated by an inhuman presence. Spirits do not possess inanimate objects like houses or toys, they possess people. An inhuman spirit can attach itself to a place or object, and this is what occurred in the Annabelle case. This spirit manipulated the doll and created the illusion of it being alive in order to get recognition. He just wanted attention, it's okay. Truly, the spirit was not looking to stay attached to the doll, it was looking to possess a human host. The spirit, or in this case, an inhuman demonic spirit, was essentially in the infestation stage of the phenomenon. What does that mean? It first began moving the doll around the apartment by means of teleportation to arouse the occupants' curiosity in hopes that they would give it recognition. Like I said, he wanted attention. Then, predictably, the mistake of bringing a medium into the apartment to communicate with it. The inhuman spirit was now able to communicate through the medium, preyed on the girl's emotional vulnerabilities by pretending to be a rather harmless lost young girl, with which during the seance was allowed permission from Donna to haunt the apartment. First of all, just don't do that. Don't do stuff like that. Seances are a no. Mediums, no. If you have a doll that's moving, it's a freaking no. Get rid of it. Insofar as demonic is a negative spirit, it then set about causing patently negative phenomena to occur. That is a mouthful. It aroused fear through the weird movements of that doll. It brought about the materialization of disturbing handwritten notes, the symbolic drops of blood on the doll, and ultimately it even attacked Lou, leaving behind the symbolic mark of the beast. Great. The next stage of the infestation phenomenon would have been complete human possession. Had these experiences lasted another 2 or 3 more weeks, the spirit would have completely possessed, if not harmed or killed, one or all of the occupants in the house. At the conclusion of the investigation, the Warrens felt it appropriate to have a recitation of an exorcism blessing by Father Cook to cleanse the apartment. Oh my gosh. The Episcopal blessing of the home is a wordy 7-page document. Wow, that is distinctly positive in nature. Rather than specifically expelling evil entities from the dwelling, the emphasis is instead directed towards filling the home with the power of the positive and of God. That's a direct quote from Ed Warren. At Donna's request, and as a further precaution against the phenomena ever occurring again in the home again, the Warrens took the big rag doll along with them when they left. I wouldn't want it. Father Cook, although uncomfortable with his role as an exorcist, agreed to perform the 7-page rite of exorcism, a doctrine he recited throughout the apartment, at which point the Warrens were confident the entity would no longer reside there. They agreed to take the rag doll back home with them. Upon leaving, Ed placed the doll in the back seat and agreed he would not take the interstate in the event the inhuman spirit still resided with the doll. His suspicions were all too correct. In no time, the Warrens felt themselves as a... What? does that mean? Okay, I'm gonna read it word for what it says on the website. His suspicions were all too correct. In no time, the Warrens felt themselves as the object of a vicious hatred. Okay. Then at each dangerous curve, the car swerved and stalled with every corner, causing the power steering and brakes to fail. Repeatedly, the car verged on collision. Ed reached into the back seat, into his black bag, and took out a vial of holy water and doused the doll, making the sign of the cross over it. The disturbances stopped immediately, and the Warrens arrived safely home. After the Warrens arrived home, Ed sat the doll in a chair next to his desk. Why? Why? No. The doll levitated a number of times in the beginning, then it seemed to fall inert. Okay? During the ensuing weeks, however, it began showing up in various rooms of the house. No. Okay, like, so you took it out of the house, you decided to keep it for some reason. It was moving around, it had blood on its hands and its back, it was writing, like, creepy notes and pretending to be a little girl. So it tried to make them crash a car on the way to their house. But no, you take it out, you put it next to your desk. When the Warrens were away and had the doll locked up in the outer office building, they would often return to find it sitting comfortably upstairs in Ed's easy chair when they opened the main front door. The doll also showed a hatred for clergymen who came to the house. In one instance, Father Jason Bradford, a Catholic exorcist, came to the house. Upon seeing the doll seated in the chair, he picked it up and said, "You're just a rag doll, Annabelle. You can't hurt anyone." And tossed the doll back in the chair, at which point Ed exclaimed, "That's one thing you better not say." Upon leaving, an hour later, Lorraine pleaded to the priest to please be careful driving and to call her when he arrived home. Lorraine discerned tragedy for this young priest, but he had to go his way. A few hours later, Father Jason called Lorraine and explained that his brakes had failed as he entered a busy intersection. He was involved in a near-fatal accident, destroying his vehicle. This was just one of many such events that occurred over the next few years. Oh my gosh. It's got a thing with like controlling cars. The Warrens had a special case built for Annabelle inside the Occult Museum, where she resides to this day. Since the case was built, Annabelle no longer appeared to move, but she is thought to be responsible for the death of a young man who came to the museum on motorcycle with his girlfriend. The young man, after hearing Ed's account of the doll, defiantly went up and began to bang on the case, insisting that if the doll can put scratches on people, then he wanted to also be scratched. Why would you do that? Ed said to the young man, "Son, you need to leave," and put him out of the building. Thank you. Kick him out. On the way home, the young man and his girlfriend were laughing and making fun of the doll when he lost control of his motorcycle and went head-on into a tree. The young man was killed instantly, but his girlfriend survived and was hospitalized for over a year. Like, why were they laughing and making fun of the doll in the first place? Like, what were they even saying? I don't understand. Like, that raggedy ant. Ed warns you, do not challenge evil. Plain and simple. That's the end of the whole thing on the Warrens website. I don't know, what do you guys think? What do you guys think? Leave it in the comments below. Do you think this kind of stuff is real? Do you guys believe in this kind of stuff? Because I personally, I believe in it. I don't know exactly how it works though. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm like, okay. I mean, all these stories have to come from somewhere, in my opinion. But anyway, guys, this was kind of a different video for me. I'm only really doing this kind of a video because it's getting really close to Halloween. Super exciting. That's the end of the video. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and